Hello, we're going to go through a hamstring matrix, and the difference between this hamstring stretch and why I call it a matrix is because it's going to hit both the medial and the lateral aspect of the hamstring, aspect being the key word because that's what we want to stretch as well. So we're going to start out, hands on the hips, having your foot, can just use a chair, a bumper, anything like that, a sibling. You want to just start by leaning forward, and as you lean forward, the key is to keep the trunk flexed. Think of it like you've got a rod through your torso, because as your trunk leans forward, your hips are going to move backward. So here we're kind of threading the sagittal plane of the pelvis. So do that a few times, and then the next thing we want to do is work on adding in the other two planes of motion. So here is rotation. Basically, you're opening the pelvis, closing the pelvis. When you go to close the pelvis here, that's going to put stretch on those hamstring muscles. Okay? Working through that. Then we also want to go through the frontal plane. So take the pelvis a little side to side, but again, we've got this long lever arm working through there. Okay? Then the next thing that we're going to do once we work through that is we're now going to have a little bend in the knee, and we're going to do with adding what we call upper extremity drivers or reaches. And by doing this, the leg is stationary. We just put the hamstring in a little bit different position, working on side to side, going through there. Notice that my breath starts to get a little bit short. Clearly I need to work on this one. Okay? Third thing we're going to do is do what we call a bottom-up approach, which means we're going to work on moving the foot, going into a kind of a log roll type of position, going into internal and external rotation. Loosen that up a little bit. Then you're going to leave the foot in open position or externally rotated. Again, you've got your torso nice and long. You've got extension through here. Carefully, you're going to work on some arm drivers. Again, it's not coming forward through here. The purpose for the arm drivers are to get the pelvis to rotate side to side. Okay? Try and have that through there. Then we're going to work on the lateral rotators here. As best you can, try and work on the reaching, side to side, right through there. Just for time's sake, I'm not going to do the other one, so now I'm going to be taller on one side, but you would obviously repeat that for the other side, and there's a nice hamstring matrix there. A way you can test that is before you stretch, try just going in a squat position. Afterward, that should feel pretty loosened up through there. So give that a try.